What's going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. So today, we're doing a box showcase video. It has been like years since I've actually uploaded a box showcase video, and since I reached pirate level 900 recently, you can see I'm 903 right now. Currently, as I'm recording this, it's the first day of the Wano Kuni Blitz battle, but people have been asking for this for a while, and especially recently because I reached pirate level 900, and because this was a big milestone Sugo Fest as well, people just want to see what's in my character box, and I don't know, I don't think it's that interesting, but apparently you guys think it's interesting, so that's why I decided, might as well record a video. So let's see what I have in my character box and just show off what I got, right? I don't know, it's really that simple. I don't really even know how to structure this. I guess we're going from top to bottom. I sort everything by my favorites, just in case if anyone was wondering how I sort my character box. I feel like that's the typical way to sort your character box. So I guess let's just go through. Okay, so first things first, I do have a couple things at the top here. These Hercules Beetles things, like these were available during one of the treasure maps, I believe. If you sell one of these, you get 10 million berries, I think it is. Yeah, 10 million berries. They're pretty rare items. I decided to keep them. There's no real reason for me to sell them, because look at my berry count, I've got 3.7 billion, so I don't really think I need to sell them for berries, so decided to keep them because they're a pretty exclusive item. You don't see them too often, so that's that. The donuts and the pound of meat thing, or the pile of meat, these were available from the Luffy versus Katakuri event. Don't really know why I saved them. These donuts basically never appear anymore, but I believe there was an event where these piles of meat would appear once again. That's why I have 36 of them. There was a point where I only had one of each, and that's why I favorited them, but either way. Past that is this. I decided to keep this. This was a collaboration between One Piece World Seeker, the console game, with One Piece Treasure Cruise. They were trying to promote the console game, of course, inside Treasure Cruise, and they gave this as an item. You get 200,000 EXP, and I believe it's a socket tome as well. Like, it's nothing special, but it's like a really cool collaborative item that you can keep, and it's just a really cool thing to show off, I suppose, but nothing really too crazy. I've got a couple of, a little bit more than a couple, but just a few of those plus 100 cotton candies. Typically, I use these first before I move on to, like, my pigs, which I store my cotton candies on, so we'll talk about pigs a little bit later when we get to it. I have some skill up meats here. These are from what? The 100 million download celebration. Jeez, these must have been here for a really long time, because that was a pretty long time ago. And you might be wondering or getting a little bit confused, because last year we had the 55 million download celebration. That was because of that's 55 million downloads for the English and French and maybe the Korean version as well. This celebration was for all the versions combined. And that was, yeah, between all the different versions. Was this around the World Clash time? I can't even remember. Either way, that's a thing. I've got a bunch of skill books for characters that I don't own yet, so I'm just kind of like reserving these skill books for whenever I get them. A majority of these skill books here are limited rare recruits. You got some story mode characters at the bottom, but nothing really too crazy. But out of all these limited rare recruits, the ones that I'd really love to get, I would really love to get this Pedro. This Pedro is freaking phenomenal. Really nice self-proccing conditional booster for the slasher class team, which is really good. I would really love to get this Kinemon as well. Another really good slasher unit that removes 7 turns, I think. 7 turns of, yeah, chain multiplier, growth rate decrease, and chain locking as well. Like, it's a really good special, and he's a color affinity booster. The rest of them, I don't really care about these too much. I mean, like, getting this Leo is kind of nice. He's pretty decent. This Inter Recruit Leo. This Kobe is also pretty good, but I don't have him yet. So if I get him in the future, that'd be awesome, but nothing really too crazy. So let's actually get into the characters. So I have every single dual unit in the game, starting off with Luffy and Ace. Obviously, all the dual units are rainbowed here. Whitebeard and Marco. We got Barto and Cavendish, which I actually have Limit Break expanded. I kind of regret this, actually. I Limit Break expanded this character, I think, towards the end of April. Because I had max materials and I basically had to limit break expand something, because I was farming treasure map at the time and I needed to just get rid of materials so I could start stocking up some more. So I decided to do this. I really regret it, because at the time there wasn't really anything worth limit break expanding, but I did need to go ahead and do it. So I don't know, maybe in the future I'll be really happy about this one, but at this current point in time, yeah, I really regret limit break expanding that unit. Sanji Judge, Luffy, Law, V2 Big Mom, Cat Dog, Sabo Koalla, Vivi Rebecca, Shirahoshi Mancherry, the brand new Luffy and Zoro dual unit, which came out just now on Global, which is, I'm blessed to be lucky enough to pull this guy. This unit is freaking awesome. Having a bunch of fun with this unit so far. And then we've got a bunch of other dual units here at the bottom. We've got the treasure map unit, Zoro and Sanji. We've got the Kizuna unit, which is completely rainbow maxed out. Kizuna, Zoro, and Sanji. We've got the raid units here as well. A lot of unevolved legends here too. Unevolved Sabo Koalla. We've got Durfee Treble, Shanks and Ben Beckman. Funny enough, if you guys didn't see my, if you're not following me on Twitter, you should definitely go ahead and do so. Link to it is down below in the description, of course. But I recorded an episode of the Good, Great, Perfect podcast a couple of days ago, and after we recorded the podcast, I decided to do one more multi to potentially pull Usohachi, which I didn't pull throughout the Sugo Fest, and I actually pulled this guy. I pulled an unevolved copy of Luffy and Zoro. I'll probably put the tweet up on the screen so you guys can see it, but man, that was crazy. I was not expecting that. It's crazy how I pull 2 Luffy and Zoros before I pull 1 copy of Usopp. I don't know, bro. I really don't know. Sanji putting a very exclusive unit that not too many people have at this current point in time. This unit is going to be very good once we get that Big Mom Kizuna clash later on down the line. So yeah, this unit's pretty cool, but like nothing crazy, nothing you're going to be using too often for, really. Like there's not too much content with this unit is like godly for, but it's nice to have. And then obviously the global first Law and Chopper dual unit, which isn't really too great, but it's a really cool, fun unit, so it is what it is. Moving on to Strength Legends, we have... do I have all the Strength Legends? Yeah, I do have all the Strength Legends. We've got Snake Man with Limit Break Expansion. If there's anyone that you should Limit Break Expand, I think Snake Man's a pretty good option, because not only do you, when you Limit Break Expand him and he gets those additional stats, but when you Limit Break Expand him and get those stats, it's going to improve his support effect as well. So in my opinion, I just think it's completely worth doing. This unit is one of the best units in the game as it stands right now. Even on JP, where they have Snake Man V2, this original Snake Man is still really, really good. This V1 Whitebeard, a lot of people sleep on this guy, but the thing about it is in generic play, yes, he is pretty terrible, but when PvP rolls around, being the Pirate Festival game mode, this unit is a god for that, because he has one of the best PvP abilities in the game to health cut the enemies on a very, very low cooldown, and you don't even have to level up his PvP abilities for him to be extremely viable. So this guy is going to be great. And also another thing to note about PvP, I guess we can get onto that as well, is that if you max a character out with their sockets, skill, limit break abilities, cotton candies, it increases their stats on the PvP. So any character you use on PvP, you want to get them rainbowed, you want to max the cotton candies and stuff, like it actually does make a difference. So that's something to note. So V1 Wipe is going to be good. We've got Legend Lucci V1, who's completely trash. I haven't used Legend Crocodile in a long time. This guy, when he gets his support ability, is going to be like a god support for when Snake Man drops. He's a really, really good support unit, but you don't really see him used too much. Inuarashi is another really good unit that will be used a lot in PvP. He does a lot of damage to the enemy. I haven't rainbowed him out yet, but when PvP drops around, and I am going to be using him, I suppose, I'm going to be testing him out. When PvP drops, I'm going to be dropping a lot of videos just like talking about different units and kind of trying to do different team builds and stuff, trying to work things out. This is a character that I definitely want to try out probably first. Like a mono strength team seems to be the way to go. So I think I want to rainbow this guy out, but at this current point in time, I think I'm going to wait a little bit to see what happens. But he would be a character I want to rainbow out. This V1 Big Mom, also really good in PvP when that comes out eventually. Although in generic play, I'm not a big fan of this unit. I really dislike the way that this character plays. And I do understand that there are some ways that you can use this unit to kind of just cheese content, but it's really annoying to manage, and for that reason is unfortunately why Big Mom, for me, basically sees no play. Even as a sub, she's not really that good. Bullet, one of the best legends in the game, one of my favorite legends in the game. This guy is just a god. I love this guy so much, and he's also very good in PvP, so that's great. Unfortunately, Log Luffy doesn't get really much love. I haven't even maxed his sockets. I haven't even maxed his skill level. Like, he's just... I just don't feel like dumping resources into this guy because he's just useless. Obviously, his support effect is actually really good. That's the only thing I invested into this guy. Because I did pull him relatively late, I think. Did I have him? I don't think so. Anyway, yeah, this guy's really not that great, so you don't really need to invest too much into him, but his support ability will see play, honestly. So that's pretty decent. Legend Lucy, which as of me recording this video, the day after I record this video is when his 6+ actually drops, so it'll be nice to get his 6+. It's going to be fully rainbowed out, and I do have a dupe Lucy ready to go. It does have the candy, it does have the skill. I just need max sockets, and I don't know if I'm going to rainbow a second copy, but having a second copy there, so in case I need the strength variation for anything. Katakuri, my boy. This is a dupe copy, of course. I have his 6+ fully rainbowed out. Legend Jack, also really, really nice to have there. And we've also got a 6-star bullet as well. So this is a 6-star bullet. We've got a 6-star plus bullet. And I have a 5-star unevolved bullet as well. So I've got bullet for everything that we could possibly need. I don't think I'm ever going to use this bullet for anything, but I remember when Bullet first dropped on Global on his treasure map, his 6+ and his 6-star version were both boosted on the same treasure map. So if there's any situation where that happens again, you know, we're going to be prepped for that, so that's dope. And that goes about it for the legends, for the strength variation. So I guess we'll scroll down and I'll just point out any like special units or something like that. So I do have the Higuma, the 5+ Higuma that was available for one of those treasure maps. Was it against the treasure map Dex Shanks? I think it was. So this guy's really interesting. The fact that they introduced a treasure map rare recruit where when you pulled him, you then had to farm an island to super evolve the unit. Like, it was very, very odd. Saying that, though, his artwork looks really good. Like, I love that the Master of the Near Sea is behind him in the back. Dude, this artwork is great for a generic 5-star plus unit. Like, pretty odd that they just gave such a cool artwork to that unit. We've got the World Clash Luffy as well. World Clash Luffy is a character you don't see too often. Out of the World Clash units, he's probably the unit that sees the least amount of play, just because he's a Luffy character and there's already a lot of good Luffys to compete with. But his special ability isn't really all that either. Like, he removes Bind and Despair by 4 turns, which is decent, but again, he's a Luffy character, so he struggles to find room on teams, and he can potentially be a strength attack booster as well. Anything else crazy along here? Stampede Usopp as well, a pretty exclusive unit that if you did not play the Stampede celebration, or during that celebration, you wouldn't have this guy, so that's a thing. Also, this was available during TM Dofi, I want to say. I'm pretty sure TM Dofi, this unit was available from. He's actually not too bad, but it's unfortunate that his special ability doesn't really remove many debuffs, but if he removed more turns of the debuffs that he does remove, like, this unit would actually be pretty freaking good. I have World Clash Sanji as well. Not World Clash, World Journey Sanji, actually, mind you. This unit is actually pretty decent. I've used him a couple of times, and you can see I've pulled a couple of dupes there as well on those World Journey banners. So I'm hoping for those to return back once again, because I did not get the Boa, the Mihawk, or the Crocodile from the recent batch. And those 3 are all really good. So that would be awesome if I'm able to pick one of those guys up later. We do know that whenever that World Journey banner returns with new characters, the new characters that are going to be debuting should be an Ace and a Marco, I think it is. And they're in like, what's his face? They're dressed up like Sherlock Holmes, I think. Yeah, it looks really, really cool. They're like detectives. It's freaking dope. So, cannot wait for those guys to eventually come into the game. But at this current point in time, we don't know when that's ever going to be. Who else do we have here that's somewhat exclusive? We've got this Kizuna Rare Recruit Chopper, the Tony Chopper. He's pretty cool. Who else do we have? We've got this Stampede Buggy. I actually pulled him... When did I pull this guy? It was really, really recently that I summoned this guy. I don't remember what banner it was on, but I ended up pulling this guy, which was pretty dope. And obviously, since I only just pulled him, I haven't had too many situations where I've been able to use him. But yeah, he's a cool unit. I'm really happy that I finally got my hands on him, so that's really, really cool. Scrolling down here, nothing really too crazy I can really point out. I mean, I got limited rare recruit Marco as well. He's pretty dope. Really good for quick Whitebeard. Yeah, he's a color affinity booster. Does he do like any other effects? Removes all forms of poison, blindness, recovery bind as well, and also recovery down. That's actually pretty good. He's actually a pretty good unit, so really happy to have that. Also got my hands on limited rare recruit Hawkins. He's pretty dope. I've used him a few times. I used him on a Kizuna Clash a while back, so that's pretty cool. He removes all paralysis and stuff like that. You've got the Blitz rare recruit Kid. He's pretty cool. I remember when this Blitz battle came out, I pulled like 3 of this guy, which was just ridiculous. Limited rare recruit Bonnie. What can I say about this unit? This unit is so nice to have. Who else do we have here? We've got the Stampede Lucci from the Stampede Raid. He's dope. We have Stampede Crocodile as well. I actually used this guy in one of my Sober Mask showcase teams. I think I used it against the Coliseum Shutenmaru that is just released on Global. This guy was great. He's got a really good utility-based special effect, and if you fulfill the condition, you can get an orb boost for your units as well. So he's pretty freaking dope. I love the Stampede Buggy and Crocodile. They're both very good. It's just such a shame that on their release, like the Sugo Fest that they gave us weren't really that amazing, because you had to do 4 multis for each of them, which is a little ridiculous. And at least they put them in the generic pool. That's a really cool thing, but they only have 5-star versions, which means that they're very difficult to pull. But at least they're available. Support Sabo, I pulled him from the recent Brûlé banner. Really happy about that. This unit is awesome. I've been using him a lot since I pulled him, because there's so many good Luffys in the game. The fact that you have access to a character like this, which can make your Luffy characters hit so much harder, is so good. Especially if you're using him on Kizuna as well. If you're using any Luffy character on a Kizuna Clash, and especially when that character is boosted on that event, this Sabo just makes that Luffy character hit ridiculously hard. The fact that you can just add 1.5 times base attack until the end of that next stage, boy, this makes a big difference. Like Luffy Zoro, Luffy Law, those 2 characters in particular, they just hit so hard. Even on any event where a character is boosted, you can have this attached to it. They just do so much damage. It really, really does make a huge difference. Really, really good. We've got the Summer unit, Baby 5. Doesn't she make Bomb Orbs beneficial? Yeah, she makes Bomb Orbs beneficial for 4 turns. That's a really, really crazy special. But I don't think there's too many other characters I really think are noteworthy here. We've got Limited Rare Hody, nothing really too special about that guy. We've got the Christmas Nekomamashi from the treasure map. Again, nothing really too crazy there. We've got this Bikini Pudding, so that's cool. I got her... When did I get her? I got her a pretty long time ago, so that's cool. Who else do I have here? We've got Rockstar, also from the treasure map. And there's that 5-star bullet that I was mentioning a little earlier as well. I love this guy's artwork. I'm not really a big fan of his 6-star plus artwork. The fact that he's like that big Mechazord dude. Not really a big fan of that, but anyways. The rest of these guys are just a bunch of 4-star units. So and then we've got some 3-stars on the bottom. Bunch of attack cotton candy as well. And now we've got the Dex units. So we've got a bunch of really good Dex units. Who am I missing? So out of the legends that I'm missing, no, I'm not missing any Dex legends. So we do have all of them. Which ones are my favorites though? I mean, you can't go past Corazon. The fact that he has a really good special and support effect. One of my most used units in the game. I'm actually loving V2 Mihawk. I've used him, not really so much this month, but last month I used him in a lot of content. It was really, really good. V2 Doflamingo, I love this character. I love when you're able to just cheese content with him, but unfortunately there aren't too many situations where you can really abuse him, but in certain circumstances you definitely can. And of course you can't really go past Kaido either, man. Kaido is just, as the name suggests, he is just a beast, right? He's an absolute monster. Absolute monster. But as for the rest of them, like, the Dex Legends aren't really that exciting, honestly. They just aren't. We got World Journey Zora. He's pretty dope. Really cool Orb Manipulator. We have the Blitz Luffy as well. That's pretty dope. What else do we have here? We have nothing really too crazy in the Dex department, really. Nothing really that crazy. I mean, this guy, right? This is the guard that you can get from the treasure map, from the treasure map exchange. Recently, I had enough tickets where I could purchase all of the limit break materials for this guy. And I maxed his limit break, and I did not grab enough copies yet. I'm not going to purchase any copies of this guy, honestly. I just think that it's a much better idea to save those blue tickets for limit break materials. Now, if anyone is in that realm of like getting really close to getting the copies for this guy, I would suggest not to do it, because I just realized after doing it and losing all of my blue tickets, and plus after limit break expanding 2 characters just in the most recent Sugo Fest, I have hardly any limit break materials anymore, and I really think it's a smarter option to save those blue tickets for limit break materials if you ever get into a situation where you have to limit break expand a lot of different characters. It really does make a difference. I did get this guy fully maxed out. He is actually really good. Like, on paper, he is a good unit. It's just unfortunate that you don't really need him for content. He's just a totally useless unit. But in certain circumstances, yeah, you can kind of just inject him into a team to help you get by, but he's not a required unit for any content by any means. So, yeah, it's unfortunate, but yeah, I wonder if they're ever going to do it again. Are they just going to release another character like that ever again in the treasure map exchange, where they're just going to spend a bunch of blue tickets and you get a really dope unit? I don't know. I hope they don't do it, because considering how useful limit break materials are now, I think that it's a really terrible idea if they did that. Anything else noteworthy here? Coliseum Kid, my boy. We have Raid Crocodile. I love Raid Crocodile. I've used Raid Croc a lot recently. He's very, very good. Anything else crazy? We've got the support. Iceberg. I pulled him from the recent support banner as well. He's nothing too crazy. Nothing really too crazy there. We got Conus here. I do have the support Conus. I don't know where she is. Is she a 4-star unit? She might be. I know that. But I pulled her recently as well. We got the new carrot from the new batch. This carrot is very, very good, by the way. Very nice to have. The summer smoothie. Oh my god. Whew. Whew. That smoothie, man. That smoothie. Is there anything else really noteworthy? I don't think there's nothing too noteworthy in the Dex units. Yeah, the Dex units are pretty boring, honestly. The Dex units are like really boring. So we'll just move on to the next one. A bunch of recovery cotton candy, of course. Now the quick units, right? Quickbeard, we've got, am I missing quick units? Yes, I'm missing V3 Kuzan, right? I'm only missing 3 legends. V3 Kuzan, Legend Chopper, and Halloween Ace. As unfortunate as it is, but yeah, those are the 3 that I'm missing. So out of the quick units, there are a bunch of units here that I just adore. I love a lot of units here. I love this unit, Quickbeard, one of my favorite legends. Just so strong. Hits very, very hard. Great special ability. Sober Mask, who I just pulled, is phenomenal. Onami also is exceptional with great artwork. We have... Who else do we have here? We've got Cracker, of course. You can't really go past this guy. One of the best subs in the game. Legend Carrot, also exceptional to have. Komurasaki is really good fun as well, although I haven't really used her too much. I've used a lot of Onami, though. So there are really good units here in the quick department. I really love the quick legends in the game. In terms of the other units though, like it's just pretty stock standard stuff. We have this Knight Sanji. This Knight Sanji is pretty good. I've used him a couple of times. We have Chopper Amon. We've got TM Robin, of course. We've got 2 copies of this Ace for some reason. This is a treasure map rare recruit Ace. Who else do we have here? This, I should probably point this out. Like this unit has a really good support effect, by the way. It's actually required in a lot of teams that I've seen to beat GARP Challenge V6, and the GARP challenges are getting refreshed as well. So I think it's a really good opportunity for people out there that haven't actually gone ahead and beaten that to try and beat it. It is very difficult. It does require a lot of legends, but if you have the capabilities to do it and you haven't done it yet, I highly suggest doing it just to get your 30 rainbow gems out of it. With his Bonnie, fully maxed out support. Very nice to have her maxed out. Get 5 turns reduction of bind. That's really dope. We have this random ass Summer Perona. This unit is like super duper exclusive. Not too many people have this unit. This unit was like the only really good EXP captain for a really long time. And the reason for it is because you get the 1.5 EXP and the 2.25 attack. It's the same captain effect as the rare recruit Neptune. But the difference is this unit is a shooter character, which meant that you could actually use Colosseum Kid as a sub under this character, whereas you couldn't do that with Neptune. So there's a big difference. If you had this unit, it did make a huge difference in some relatively difficult content where you could just use Kid to cheese it. Another thing about this unit is that she was one of the first units that were driven that also removed Special Bind and had the Sailor ability that could resist Special Bind. Unfortunately, she only reduces by 2 turns, but nowadays driven have a couple of good units that can reduce the Special Bind, so that's dope. Limited Rare Crew Jinbei. I actually got him relatively recently as well. I think I got him from just a random ticket, so that's cool. Limited Rare Crew Doflamingo. I summoned him recently. Really happy I have this guy now, so shooter teams are going to be a little bit easier to build for, so that's cool. There's that support Conus that I was mentioning a little before. She's not very good, but, you know, it's a support unit. Thought I'd just point it out. We got the Limited Rare Recruit Kizaru as well. He's pretty bad. One of the worst Limited Rare Recruits in the game, unfortunately. Who else do we have here? We got the Stampede Fujitora. He's pretty cool. We got this World Clash Akainu. He's dope. I love this unit. I haven't used him too much though, but he's good. He's really good. And we also have the like the kimono sort of getup for this Akainu. He's pretty cool. He came out with the other int Kuzan. We'll talk about him. I'll show him off a little bit later. But he's a good unit. Really good unit. Who else do we have? Nothing too crazy. Just a bunch of units here. We got that bullet raid boss that came out in Buena Festa. And then we got the 4 stars and 5 stars. The 4 stars and 3 stars. So the 4 stars and 3 stars are super lame. No one really cares about those guys. Now we move on to Sai. So Sai, I am missing Chopper. That's the only Sai legend that I am missing, but I have all of the rest of them. Obviously, not all of them are rainbow. There are still some that I'm missing, but all the ones that I will use often are going to be fully rainbowed. Yeah, pretty sure all the ones that I use really often are already completely rainbowed. So that's really good. So which ones do I like here? So the top, like the gear 4 at the top, and then the whole first row under that. Don't really care about those guys. Neko Mamashi, I recently maxed his support effect. Very good support effect. Reduces bind and attack down on your crew by 2 turns when you get inflicted with it. But he only supports Chopper, Dogstorm, and Pedro, so you're kind of restricted there. But if you're able to put this on your team, it really does make a big difference in those situations, so that's cool. Who else do we have here? We have Stampede Luffy. I have not maxed his support, and I don't think I ever will, because he is basically the same support effect as Snake Man Luffy, but he's worse, because Snake Man can attach to any character. He can only attach to side, dex, and strength. This support effect is completely pointless, because Snake Man has more attack, especially after Limit Break expansion. There's literally no reason to max this guy's support when you've got Snake Man. Just literally makes no sense. After he gets a Limit Break expansion, he might be higher attack, but even still, I just don't think it's worth the support medals where you can just do it on Snake Man Luffy instead. V2 Sanji has a good support effect as well. Garp, who should be getting his 6+ on JP within the next coming days. So looking forward to that. Hopefully his 6+ is very good. Hopefully they do him justice. Hopefully. Who else do we have here? V2 Kuzan's very good. V2 Katakuri, my man, Mr. Slam Jam. Yes, love this guy. And you might be thinking, why the hell does he have poison sockets? It's because I have, if I go to my teams real quick, I've actually got a team built. If I go to my view teams, for the GARP V6. So you can see team that crew right there, GARP V6. So that specific team has all the sockets completely built out. Like the Luffy Law has poison sockets, Sabo Koalla still has poison sockets. I think Shirahoshi Mancherry also has poison sockets. I was hoping that we were gonna get them fully refreshed so that we could do the missions again, because I think that happened on JP, if I'm not mistaken. I think that did happen where people could literally complete GARP Challenge V6 again and get the rewards. I'm not 100% sure. But even if that's the case, I'll just go ahead and resocket them with whatever we want. But, you know, since doing that and giving him poison sockets and stuff, that hasn't really hindered me in clearing content. So that's not a big deal anyway. But there we go. That's the rest of those side legends right there. Scrolling down, we have limited rare recruit Toadskii there. She's very, very good. I love having that. Like the limited rare recruits, like a lot of them are pretty meh, pretty mid. But some of them are just like that top tier, like freaking Toadskii and Bonnie. Oh, use them so often. So good. Anything else noteworthy here? Colosseum Kuma, make sure to max him out. This guy as well, this Kuma is so good. Max his double special ability, get double special activation. He can remove 7 turns of Mind and Despair, so that's 14 turns of Mind and Despair when you use double special, or multiple different turns of 7 turns of Mind and Despair removal. And he has a really good support effect. If you're inflicted with Despair, reduce it by 5 turns, and he can support Perona or Gecko Moria. So that's a little tricky there to put him on Perona or Gecko Moria, because there aren't that many too many good Peronas and Gecko Moria. Though I guess when Mihawk and Perona come out, this would be a great support for them. That'd be a really, really good support for them, actually. That's cool. Scrolling down, let's keep going. Anything that I can really point out here? This Karina, you should probably max this character's support, especially if you've got like a really good Nami character, because when you attach her to Nami, when you use the Nami special, she makes your adjacent orbs matching, and also you get 30% damage reduction for 2 turns. That's like pretty good. It's a really good support effect just to give you some beneficial slots for free. Really, really good. This Mistems, I pulled this guy from the support banner too. Really, really cool unit. I haven't had too many chances to use him, but he is very, very good. Who else do we have? This Wanda, a very, very exclusive unit on Global. This unit only came out when Legend Carrot came out, so this unit's actually a year old now, which is cool to think. But it was kind of interesting about this unit because this unit was free to play on Global. There was a ranking mission, and if you beat the ranking mission, you got this Wanda for free. But then when this unit came to JP, you had to summon for her, and she's still a summonable unit to this day on JP. So I don't really know how they're going to handle that. Is this unit going to come to the Rayleigh shop? Is this unit going to be summonable? We don't really know. This unit is good. Every time I use Carrot, like this is a unit that you have to contemplate, like wondering, like, should I bring this unit? Do I need to bring this unit? This support effect is really good because it has the effect when it attaches to Carrot that once per quest, when you use the special of Carrot, it changes all orbs, including block, randomly. And of course, if you have double Carrot, it increases your chances of matching slots, which is good. And then it changes them if they're not quick, tandem, or recovery. Now, when you use Carrot special, she makes quick, tandem, and recovery beneficial for your team. Or is it just tandem and recovery? I can't remember. Either way, she makes orbs beneficial, and then she shuffles away the ones that aren't counted as beneficial. So it gives you a pretty high chance to get matching slots. Very good. It just means that you don't need to bring a block orb remover on a Carrot team. It's really good. Really, really nice. Ambush Linlin. Make sure to max this unit out whenever you can. That's all I have to say. Limited Roku Pudding, I have this unit too. She's really good, but I don't really use the Driven teams all that much, unfortunately. Driven is a pretty cool class, but they're not great, I'll admit. This random limited time Pudding I have as well. Yasop, really, really good unit to attach to Shanks and Ben Backman treasure map unit. Really freaking good. Who else do we have here? We've got this guy fully rainbowed out with the double special activation. This guy's freaking awesome. I love Rare Recruit Opera. We have this Sora support unit as well. This Sora support's really nice for Sanji Judge, or just any Sanji character that you can really put on the team. Just when you reach the final boss stage, you're guaranteed to get a tandem slot, and you heal 3,000 HP, and you get 1 turn of cooldown reduction. Like, that's freaking great. That's really good. And I think the Wedding Sanji, if I'm not mistaken, he reduces cooldowns if I'm not mistaken. But doesn't he have the Sailor ability to resist it? Yeah, okay, so it doesn't even matter. Okay, don't worry what I was about to just say. I was going to say you can attach that unit to reduce cooldowns, and then don't worry, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Who else do we have here? We've got nothing too special. Yeah, we can move on to the next typing now. I guess before we move on, this is something that you guys should probably know. You got this guy right here, this Hachan. He's a slasher powerhouse. Really good self-proccing conditional booster, as well as he changes your orbs. He changes block, tandem, G, bomb into recovery. And as I said, he's a self-proccing 1.75 times conditional attack booster if your captain is powerhouse. Very, very powerful rare recruit. The thing about it is that his 4-star version is not slasher powerhouse. His 4-star version, instead, is fighter powerhouse. So this is something that I'd suggest to you guys. If you ever pull a dupe of this guy, keep him on evolved so you can have one for the fighter class and one for the slasher class. Yes, your captain still has to be powerhouse at the end of the day in order to get his boost, but you know, on V2 Sanji teams, you could actually run this guy on V2 Sanji teams in a hypothetical situation. If you wanted to run a fighter team and get a conditional boost, good way to do it. Make sure to know that. The rest of these characters are pretty straightforward and doesn't really matter too much. And again, these are all HP candies. I have a lot of HP candies just sitting here. And then we move on to Int. So the Int legends, I am actually missing a few rainbows. V1 Sanji, Buggy, don't have rainbowed Sengoku. I actually don't even have Sengoku fully maxed limit broken, actually, which is pretty funny. V1 Doflamingo is not maxed yet. V1 Fujitora is not maxed out yet. But everyone else is fully rainbowed out, especially my boy, Mr. Slam Jam Katakuri. Of course, had to get my man rainbowed out. V1 Rayleigh at the top there, phenomenal support effect. Really, really good. So make sure to max this guy out, as well as Corazon, the two best supports in the game. V1 Jinbei has aged very, very well, so he's a very, very good legend considering his age. Just a really good utility special of removing Rainbow Shield and Blue Shield. Very, very good. The rest of these characters are pretty mid. I mean, V2 Shanks is really good to have. Capone's really good. V2 Akainu is still pretty solid. I used him in the Kizuna Clash. When was it? The last Kizuna Clash. Not the Okiku one, but the one prior to that. I think I used this guy as a captain for it, so that's cool. V2 Zora, unfortunately, I'm not a big fan of his captain effect, but he is decent. He's a good sub for the slashes, but unfortunately, the best slasher captain in the game now is now Luffy and Zoro. So it's another Zoro character that unfortunately this guy will not be able to be put on. So that really sucks, considering Luffy and Zoro are an orb booster. This would be a perfect type booster for that. So that really, really does suck. It really does. So let's move on here and let's see some other int characters that we can break down. We've got the Stampede Sanji, another very exclusive unit that not too many people would have. Very, very cool. He boosts the attack and orbs of Strength, Quick, and Int by 1.75 for 2 turns. Like, this unit's really good, actually, for a generic free-to-play unit. Unfortunately, when the Stampede Celebration had the rehash and it came out to Global again, they didn't give this unit out, so hopefully he'll be available sometime in the near future. That'd be really, really cool. Treasure Map Rare Recruit Marco, also really dope. Unfortunately, he doesn't see that much play, but he's got a good utility special. Who else do we have here? We've got this Summer Vivi, like this random Summer Vivi. Great artwork. Has a really cool special ability of reducing your character's cooldown, reduces paralysis, has a sailor ability to resist special rewind. The only problem is that her cooldown is 16 turns, which is ridiculously high for a special cooldown reducer. So that's unfortunate. Who else do we have here? Well, this is a character that I limit broke expanded, is this Whitebeard, just to get his additional cooldown, that TM Whitebeard. Limited Rare Recruit Killer, I pulled relatively recently. I haven't had a chance to use him yet, but I love the artwork, pretty cool unit. He definitely needs a Sugo Fest exclusive at some point, or a dual legend with Kid and Killer. That'd be hype as hell. Really looking forward to that, if that ever happens. Who else do we have? I love this Iron. This Iron is one of my most used units in the game. Really good utility. Double special activation as well. This is also a TM Rare Recruit, this Kuma. Who else do we have down here? We've got Limited Rare Recruit Mori, who I did pull recently. I did use tablets to max his cooldown at the start of the fight, because why not? Because no other real... Like, there's only a few legends in the game that actually use this limit break ability. Corazon, I think Time Skip Luffy, V1 Boa. I think those are the only 3 legends. There might be another one that I'm missing. So, like, the thing is people will typically have a surplus of these special charge time reduction tablets. So, it's worth literally just using them on some of the generic rare recruits that you'll pull. So, it's worth it for sure. Who else do we have? We've got this Sabo character that works well with the World Clash Ace that I didn't really show earlier, but I do have that World Clash Ace, of course. This is also a TM Rare Recruit unit. This Monet with T-Gold Biddies, okay? T-Gold Biddies on that Monet. We've got the Kimono Kizaru as well. He's okay. I used him in the recent treasure map that came out to Global. Who else do we have? This Makino. This Makino is a support Rare Recruit character, and her support effect is trash. This unit should not be a summonable support Rare Recruit. I don't know why she's here. She's mind-boggling. And of course, the GOAT, Condi Oriano. Let's go, boys. Let's go. Yes, okay, Condi Oriano's in the building. And then we have the rest of our 4-star and 3-star units for the int coloring. And then we've got a bunch of stuff here. We've got some stuff that we feed, just like lobsters, meats, homies, chocolates, swords, guns, rice, lobsters, homies, swords, guns, rice, lobsters, homies, ice cream, What else do we have? Support medals. So we've got a bunch of support medals just sitting there. A bunch of tablets as well. And this is like post Luffy, Zoro, and Sober Mask Sugo Fest as well. So we have a pretty good amount of tablets still. During the recent Kizuna clash that dropped with Okiku, I had a little bit less, obviously. I think I got 18 or 1900 tickets that I used on that 1000 box of box 7, and we're able to get a pretty decent amount of tablets from that, so that definitely helped out for sure. And of course, I'm at a point now where for me to pull a new legend, it's going to take a lot of gems, or it's going to take a lot of luck. So me getting a new legend is going to be pretty difficult, so I'm going to be able to stock up a lot of tablets between now and probably the next time I pull a new legend. So it's just going to mean that, you know, whenever I pull new stuff, I'm going to be able to rainbow it much easier, which is cool. Really good about that. We've got a bunch of forbidden tomes as well, so that's cool. I'll be able to fully max out any unit with tomes, which is not a problem. We have a bunch of USBs as well, 160 silver ones, 110 gold ones, a bunch of 34 turkeys, a bunch of 6-star books, some 4-star books, and for some random powerhouse books as well, and then some other skill books. And then we've got just the generic stuff. I am saving this Robin because she does have a good support effect when it eventually drops. It's a 1.3 attack boost, I think, to int on the final boss stage. And with that, that was a long-winded video going through just about everything in my character box. I mean, look, we didn't go over every unit here, but look, if you definitely wanted to, you know, pause the video at certain points just to go through everything once again, you can definitely do that, just to have a little glance at, you know, some other stuff we have in my box. So here's another unit that I just realized I didn't go through, Support Orlumbus, which I did summon as well. But yeah, there are just a bunch of units here. And as I said, if you wanted to go through and have a look at these in greater detail, you can pause them and have a look. And everything in my box is maxed level, except for Laboon, because old school players know why Laboon isn't supposed to be maxed out. Either way, that is going to wrap up this video today, guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed this one. Of course, as I said, this was a video that a lot of people were hoping to see, so hopefully this, guys, suffices, you know, your expectations, I suppose. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this one, and if you guys did enjoy it, make sure to hit the like button, and if you want to stay up to date with all the content that I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. Please go ahead and do that. We're trying to reach 50,000 subscribers. Would be absolutely wicked if we're able to reach that milestone. But other than that, guys, I will see you guys within the next video.